Hello everybody, welcome to the United Stand. It's our first watch along of the season and it's our first game of pre-season. I hope you're all ready to go with this one. Excited about it, yes. Intrigued about how it's going to play out over the next few weeks. I think that I was just tweeting there about how definitely excited to see some of the younger players like Williams, and there are a lot playing in the second half. More familiar players in the first half with Rashford and Casemiro and Hannibal and Mount and Johnny Evans and Wan-Bissaka. But there's a couple in the first half to take a look at. Certainly Williams and Wheatley and Murray at left back. But there's a lot of players in the second half like Collier, Amas, Fletcher. I think it's going to be really interesting to see how some of these players, do for Manchester United over the coming weeks and how many of them stick with the first team as they start to come back. So, yeah, look, I'm excited to see that, we know about Collier. There's a lot of talk about Amas, but there might be one or two names that you just don't know about. I think that when you look at some of these younger players, Williams has trained with the first team before. I think it was maybe the Bayern Munich game in the Champions League. I think he trained up, new contract. So playing in the first half, maybe that's a name that no one's even thought about that could come in and do quite well. As Bruno Fernandes says, excited to see Mason Mount actually do something. Yeah, look, Mason Mount with a pre-season behind him. Although he did have a pre-season last year, didn't he? We forget that he did play in pre-season last year, and he was in early because we'd bought him early. So yeah, it's not the pre-season; it's the season that we need to see from Mason Mount. Obviously, Marcus Rashford, you'd expect to see a different Marcus Rashford. Welcome to my hometown, Trondheim, says Matthias. Thank you very much. Welcome to the members club. Make sure you smash a like. Actually, just a big shout out. It says we're on 890,000. I think we're about 20 short. So bottom right hand corner to subscribe. We're trying to get to 1.9 million before the start of the season, so we can push for 2 million during the season. So please do subscribe, bottom right hand corner, get involved and share the video. So that's the United lineup on the screen for you, as I said. And look, I don't know a lot about Rosenberg. Apparently it's not Brandon Williams, Liam. There's a lot of people in the chat thinking it's Brandon Williams. No. I don't want to say thank God it's not Brandon Williams, because that would be unfair, but I actually do think it would have been a problem if we'd had Brandon Williams playing at right back, so at right wing. So it's not Brandon Williams, it's Ethan Williams, who is 18 years of age, and I think primarily would play. Abo says, is it Nico Williams? Yeah, he's won the Euros, and he's just come over to play a friendly for Man United on trial. That would be great, but no, it isn't. It's Ethan Williams, and look, I think he's primarily a winger. So you know what? Look, you cannot get overexcited because we know that there's not that many players that are going to always break through into the Manchester United first team, and we also know there's a lot of players to come back, and we also know that we're having to use players today that we wouldn't normally use. But there is always an opportunity under Erik ten Hag that if you're good enough, then you're old enough, and that to me is the opportunity that these young players have, and I think that we have to have an open mind to that. The weather is glorious in Rosenberg, by the way. It's crap in England, so yeah, very interested to see how that's going to plan out. But look, as I said before, I was talking about it this morning, and I probably can read you a few more words from it if you need it. But this is, I want to get your thoughts on this, because yes, I think with the young players, there is that openness to just see what they're all about and what they can do, and if they can be, players for Manchester United potentially of the future. That would be great. Of course it would be great. But I also think that there is the normal sort of anticipation around things like where is who's going to be the pre-season Pirlo, and what I mean by that is, well, look, there might well be a player that after this game we're listening to United fans on Twitter and on social media sort of saying this player is going to be massive for Man United next season. And I think when you look at that Manchester United starting lineup, there's a player on there that really does sort of jump out at me as being prime pre-season Pirlo. Jadon Sancho, when he comes back, could be that as well. You know, Jadon Sancho is going to be the best player in the world. We saw this last year in the US tour. Hannibal is going to be the pre-season Pirlo, I think. I just know he has this hold on certain players, certain fans certain Man United fans who really want him to succeed, and he's just got that Pereira vibe where I think he probably will play well, because against a certain level of player, he's industrious and aggressive and he can stand out. So I'm going to make a prediction that that Hannibal will be our pre-season Pirlo for this game today. Delete is not official yet, Gerald, unless it's broken while I've just gone live. No, it's not. But look, it's pre-season. I hope some players can build some confidence, i.e. Mason Mount, Marcus Rashford. Some of these players, of course, are putting themselves into the shop window. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Casemiro, we haven't mentioned him. But also I think a lot of these young players are probably putting themselves in the shop window as well, because they're playing, they loan deals. Loan deals for some of these players will be very, very important as well. So that's the way I look at it. I think that there is opportunities for all players, or every player has got an opportunity in this game today. And whether that be to get out on loan, get yourself a move, get yourself into the first team, I think that's what all these players are looking at. And, you know, time is of the essence. You don't know how many opportunities you're going to get. CFC Cash says, hello, Mark. I'm excited for the season and the rebuild by the looks of it. It can't be worse than England's Euros performances, says CFC. And hi, Mark. Hope you're well. Hope your family are well. Any updates on any more incomings and outgoings? Are you ready for the new season, says Dylan? Well, I wouldn't say I'm ready for the new season. Fulham is still a month away, but I'm ready for the build-up. I'm ready to, I mean, look, what have we got? What do we got? I mean, just if you're not aware of the schedule that Manchester United have got over the coming week or so, or coming few weeks, and kick-off times. So we've got this one today, which is kicking off in about 4 minutes' time. We've then got Saturday, which is what are we talking about? What am I looking at here? I mean, we're in July. Yeah, we go. Yeah, we've got Saturday, which is I was looking at the 1st of July there. 5 o'clock for this one. Saturday, 4 p.m. against Rangers. Then the following Saturday, we are playing in the States at 1 a.m. UK time. So 1 a.m. Sunday morning against the Arsenal. Then we've got on the Wednesday, Betis, which is at 3 a.m. I look forward to that. Betis at 3 a.m. And then we've got Liverpool at 12:30 a.m. before they fly back and then play against Man City on the Saturday. So, yeah, look, I like pre-season. I know it's very niche, but I do like it. It's on MUTV pre-season. That's how it works. Players are just about to come out onto the pitch now. Casemiro captaining Manchester United. I thought it might be Rashford, actually, but Casemiro captaining Manchester United, does that mean he's going to stay? I don't know. Joy Boy says, no way you'll be up for those games, Mark. I bloody will. I think 3 o'clock in the morning, you've got to go to bed for a couple of hours. But I think the midnight ones and the 1 a.m. ones, you just stay up for them. Be fine. Absolutely fine. Matt says, if we lose, can we shout Ten Hag out? Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. Absolute legends. Big shout out to all the members. We've got nearly 11,000 watching. Please do share the video and tweet it out. Monday tea time. I tell you what, I think this is perfect if you've had your fill of Euros and you're ready to move on. If you're an England fan and you're ready to move on, I think it's great that we've got this game tonight. And it's park international football and get straight into club football. And that's what I like about it. Get your badge in the chat, says Linda. Yep. If we lose, Jeffrey, welcome to the members club. Would you rather keep Rashford or Sancho? Well, can I run a poll on that? Because we all like a poll. So who Who would you rather keep? I like this. I like the interactive polls. Get involved. Who would you rather keep, Rashford or Sancho? Still not heard about whether Greenwood's going, by the way. We should have added Greenwood in the poll. That would have been interesting. No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. Thoughts on last night, Mark, says Matthew. Well, it's like, it's over, isn't it? Apparently Southgate's going. Heard that from a very good source that Southgate is going, but the FA are desperately trying to keep him. So, who's the real incompetence there? Thank you very much for the questions, though. Bryce says, your coverage of the Euros was awesome. Thanks for all you're doing for all these games, as well as the whole United Stand team. What a community. It's a great community, Bryce. Thank you very much. Appreciate your support. Apparently there's a lad who plays for Rosenborg. I don't know whether he's starting for Rosenborg, but a question for you lot. Apparently there's a player for Rosenborg who is an absolute teenage sensation. So if anybody know, I don't know whether that's a myth or true, but let us know. Any thoughts on whether you think Yoro will end up with us? We have an 8 o'clock show tonight, Saka, so it's we'll go through all the transfer stuff then, but I mean, a bit of a quiet day actually. I mean, I got that completely wrong. Nipan number 41 is there, plays in the midfield, so keep an eye out for that person there. Not going to pretend to know a lot about him, but 17 years of age and plays for Rosenborg. Not heard much, but he has a dream of playing for Manchester United, and stranger things have happened. We've seen Cristiano Ronaldo get picked up in these sort of games. So let's wait and see. United ready to go. Fish at number 4. Some people think he could be something. But we're up and running here. Timer's up and running as well. Thoughts on Xerxes earning 180k? He's not, Graham. It's come out that he's earning about 56. So that was all wrong this morning. I thought they would have played Amas, says 5 Cantonars. No, I'm not really bothered about that. We're up and running here, by the way. I'm not really bothered about Amas because there's a second half to this game, and look, I am a self-confessed stato and experienced viewer of pre-season football, and if you're not, you'll get stressed about who's starting and who's not. But I've seen these games for years, and even when you've got your first team, you might see Rashford starting with the reserves in the second half, and it doesn't mean Rashford's getting sold. So just because Murray is playing at left back this half doesn't mean he's ahead of in the pecking order of Amas, who will play left back in the second half. So, and in some ways, if you remember previous pre-season games, sometimes the first team plays in the first half, they're not that good. The youth play in the second half and they're better. So it doesn't. It can be weird. It can be weird. Remember last pre-season we played a lot of games as a Toro. Yeah, slightly less this season. So obviously Rosenborg today, Rangers on Saturday, 3 games in the US tour, and then Community Shield is going to be on there. So 6 games altogether before we play Fulham, which is about right. I can't remember how we played last time. Rosenborg on the attack here. Look, if we've got any Rosenborg experts, have they picked a strong team? Shot from distance, goes for a corner for Rosenborg. They got beat 4-1 on Friday. They are in the midst of a season, Rosenborg, by the way. So they are playing games. They've cleared the game. It's not pre-season for them, so it'd be a good test for Manchester United, this, because they're actually in the midst of a season at the moment. They're 11th in the Norwegian league. And they've just headed the ball over the top there. It's their strongest team out, says Isaac. Friday, welcome to the Members Club, you're a legend. Any idea what's going on with Malacia, Mark? Free header there from that cross. United are a little bit sluggish here, but it wasn't far off. Do you think he'll even have a path back after being out for so long, says Jelly? Look, my thoughts on Malacia, as I've said before, are that I don't believe that we should put any timestamp on it at all. I think it's going to be very difficult to come back from that sort of an injury. Should make you happy to know that apparently the US national team holds Southgate in high regard and wants him for manager. I'm not happy, says Z3. Oh, I'd love it if he goes there. Cody, welcome to members. I mean, that'd be a nice, you know what? That'd be a nice job for Southgate. Be a bad job for the States, but it'd be a nice job for Southgate. Get yourself over to America. Let's have some fun. Start, bench, sell. Xerxes, Delit and Agate, says Rookie. Let's not have some fun with people that haven't even played a game for Man United yet. Bloody hell. MKF says Rosenberg used to reign supreme in the Norwegian League for years. Please do subscribe, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. I think we're nearly at 890,000 now. And just on Southgate, I've been told he's gone. So unless the FA can convince him to stay, which just baffles me, maybe he will be the next United States manager. What are my thoughts on Hannibal, says Noah. I think he's the sort of player that could stand out. Mason Mount there with the foul. No names on the back of their shirts here, which is quite odd to see United players with no names on the back of their shirt. But going by numbers, 11 is Williams. Mount obviously 7, Rashford 10, Wheatley number 9. 8 is Hannibal. There's Rashford. Yeah, no names on the back of the shirts. But yeah, going back to Hannibal, I think he's the sort of player that I expect will stand out in pre-season, but I don't see a future at Manchester United. If I'm being completely honest, I think he's putting himself in the shop window for a move, really. So look, it's always beneficial if a player does well in pre-season, no matter what. Smart Boy knows where to watch it for free. Well, you're not that smart, are you? You call yourself Smart Boy and then you're asking how you can watch it. It's on MUTV, but I don't know whether it's free. It used to be. Kristen, welcome to the Members Club. Thanks everyone who's joining and getting the badge in. Absolute legends. 16,000 of you watching live as well. We've got about 5 minutes here. Manchester United just, first competitive pre-season game. We don't really need to over-analyse bad performances, but it would be nice to get some decent performances where we can really, look at it. Good turn here. This is Mason Mount. Lovely turn by Mason Mount, and it's a good ball that doesn't stay in for Williams, unfortunately. Lovely ball by Mason Mount, that. Hi, Mark. What's your thoughts on Camboire leaving? I'm very surprised he's been let go, says Minnie. 1884. I think it's money that United can get in for a young player that could go on and realise in a way it's a technical loan deal because you get some money for him. He goes to Villarreal, and if he does well, it's probably a very favourable sell-on clause or buyback clause. So, and we can't develop him. So I think it makes a lot of sense. And also, as I keep saying with Camboire, I don't think United have got a huge say in it. Rosenberg on the attack here because it's his decision if he wants to go. Lovely play here. Gets the shot off. Deflection. Another corner. Rosenberg attacking there again. Was that the lad? I don't know. Was that the lad? Was that Nipin there with the shot? Let me know in the chat. No. I don't know. I can't remember what number he is. That was number 39. No, it wasn't him. Good bit of skill, though. He's number 41, the one we're looking at. Corner cleared. I'd say very much so that Wan-Bissaka... Look, I think... I was looking at some of the comments earlier on, not later on. And... some people were saying, Casemiro's starting as captain. That means he's definitely going to stay. And I'm like, don't mean bloody nothing. Just because Casemiro is starting as captain doesn't mean he's staying. Just because Wan-Bissaka's starting at right back doesn't mean he's staying. I mean, I would say with pretty good confidence that Wan-Bissaka, Mabry and Casemiro will all be gone by September the 1st. I'd be stunned if all three of them are still at Man United. Christian says, Rosenberg won the league 13 times in a row from 1992 to 2004. I remember them from the Champions League. Didn't they used to have Nevland, who played up front for Spurs? Happy first watch along of the season, Mark, says Rich. Ready to get this season going. I'm really excited for this season. Thank you, pal. Hope you're doing well. And Eduardo says, The Athletic writing, Jude had no friends at the Euros. I mean, I couldn't give a shit, really. It's over. They didn't win. It's on MUTV, yes, but I know MUTV worldwide can be a little bit different, so... Yoro, De Ligt and Martinez. Who do you start? De Ligt and Martinez. Why? Yeah. Yeah. They're in again here. Good cut back. And, oh, God. Mabry very slow to that. This should be 1-0. It is, but he was offside. Rosenberg, definitely the better team so far. We're really looking like... we're looking very rusty. But look, I'm not surprised by that. I think that when you deep it properly, how many years have we been watching pre-season games together? Many, and you know, for those of us who are experienced in this sort of thing, I enjoy pre-season. It is just a bubble that you can get into, and the amount of times we'd play Real Madrid or Barcelona in like the States a few years ago, and we'd get good results, and you just go, yeah, but you can just see we're 2 weeks ahead in fitness. Like, here's a nice ball into Rashford. Oh, it's not a great first touch, though. Good ball by Casemiro. Good recovery by Rashford. First touch wasn't good, but the tackle was. Yeah, I agree with Dan. Rosenberg are halfway through their season, and this is our first game of pre-season, so they're bound to be sharper. Mount's looked all right, though. He's been busy. Wheatley. Ooh, unlucky. Yeah, Mount's been busy. No idea what's happening with Amrabat, Faddy. None. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Look, I'm very, 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 very happy to have pre-season games accompanying the transfer window over the next few weeks. I think we've got a very, very interesting transfer window at the moment. I think it's going to continue to be very interesting, supplemented by pre-season games, building up to the start of another very important season. Very, very excited about it. And good ball by Rashford there. That was a lovely... Casemiro as well. His passing's been on it. Hannibal is miles off it at the moment. I mean, I've jinxed Hannibal by saying he's going to be pre-season Pirlo. He looks absolutely miles off at the moment. Welcome to Norwegian Field, lads. Hope it'll be a fun match and have yourself a nice summer, Mark. Always fun listening in at your takes as Captain Crappy. Thank you. Thank you very much for getting involved. We've got stats and everything on the screen as well. Lovely stuff. Keep sharing the video, but everybody, we've got nearly 20,000 of you tuning in. Are you going to be live for the Arsenal game? We'll do every game, mate. We're going to be in the States. Beth and Ryan are going out, so that was late on Hannibal. That was a nasty tackle on his ankle. I hope he's all right from that. That's the other thing about pre-season. Remember last year, Ahmad got injured, was out for the first few months of the season. Mainu got injured. You know, we're back now, and it's not always plain sailing. But there you can see Rosenberg, 55% possession so far. 3 shots. United not really creating anything at the moment. I'm trying to sort of keep an eye on the shape, but as you can see, very much Mason Mount playing the deeper midfield role next to Casemiro, and Mabry's playing the more advanced role. So is that an indicator that Mason Mount might be playing as the 8 next season? Could be an indication of a plan there. Can you say hello to the lads on holiday? Kian, Chris, Joe, Alan, as Irish had the Spain jerseys on last night. Very excited for next season, says Kian. Well, look, if you're on holiday and you're tuning in, this is what it's all about, isn't it? You know, I remember previous lads' holidays many years ago, trying to get streams from South Africa and stuff when United were on tour and we were in Magaluf. So if you're out on holiday, enjoy it, lads. What's your ideal back four this year, says Mikey. I would say that my ideal back four is probably Shaw, Dalot, Martinez and Casemiro. That's realistic at the moment. Do you get all the Premier League games without MUTV, says Timothy? No, I don't think you get any, do you? Unless you're outside the UK, I don't know. Would you sell Anthony and Sancho for Nico Williams, says Illa? I mean, that's literally an open goal, yes. I mean, I don't know anybody who wouldn't vote for that. Jordan says, what's your thoughts on the new kit? So happy to get into football straight after the Euros, even if it is pre-season, says Jordan. Yeah, immerse yourself in United. That's the way to do it. What's my thoughts on the new kit? I generally don't care about kits, if I'm being honest. But it looks okay. It looks okay. Yeah, keep an eye on that. Mason Mount, to me, is definitely playing on the left-hand side of the midfield, which is normally where we put the number 8. And Hannibal is playing more advanced. I still don't think Casemiro... I mean, Casemiro looks fitter, but he just doesn't look mobile to me. Did I say Casemiro at centre-back? People keep saying Casemiro. I didn't mean it if I said it. I meant De Ligt, yeah. Oh, well, the hipsters will bloody do me up out of context anyway. Good play by Rashford, but this is what they do to Rashford. Double him up. Goes past one, gets tackled by the second. Megs. Just on the Rashford-Sancho poll, who would you rather keep, Rashford or Sancho? 78% for Rashford. I mean, that's the first poll he's won in about 2 years. So clip that, screenshot that and send it to him because, that's the first positive poll we've had for Rashford in about 2 years. So 78% of you would rather keep Rashford over Sancho. There we go. I really think Hannibal can make first team marks, says Demi. I will get it in a minute. I will come back to that in a minute. 16 minutes gone here already. Do you think Mainu, Mount and Bruno could work? Matty, if I said I think that Mainu, Mount and Bruno could work, you can clip me up from last night where I said I can't see that working. I can't see Mainu, Mount and Bruno working as a midfield 3. I just can't see it. I think you'd physically get dominated. I mean, Mainu's got the potential to get bigger, but I don't see that, no. But I'm intrigued to see what we're going to do with Mason Mount. He's a player I like, but I think he's coming from behind, if you know what I mean. And not in a sex way. I mean, like, his first year was a write-off. And therefore, I think some people have written him off. But I still think there's a good player there. I almost feel like he's a bit of a new signing. The return of Will Fish, Phil Jones regen, says Spinelli. Look, Will Fish did all right at Hibs. 21 years of age. Won't be 22 until February. Casemiro's been caught here on the leg. Oh, God, we do not want this. Very high. Very, very high. Over the top of the ball. I mean, to be fair, Casemiro's been sent off for that in his career. We do not want Casemiro getting injured. Yeah, we will be doing all the watch-alongs for the pre-season. The originals. I think we were the ones who set the trend for doing that, actually, all those years ago. I actually remember doing... I'm laughing, you probably won't. I remember when we started doing watch-alongs for the tour, probably about 8 years ago, maybe even 9, and nobody was doing it. And Alex, if anyone remembers Alex, you're a legend. I said to him, the watch-along is going to be at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to set my clock and we'll get up. I slept through. I woke up at fucking 6:30, and I was like, oh my God. Went on the YouTube channel and he'd done it on his own. That was a bad tackle. In the Premier League, that'd be a red card. He's all right, but that's definitely a red in the Prem. Do do do. Richard says, how is Nipan looking? Football Manager legend, says Richard. Anurug, welcome to the Members Club. Blink says, do you think Xerxes should play right wing or Højlund striker? I mean, look, the big thing is that we can't do anything about it, because even if we'd bought Xerxes in June, he can't get quicker here because he's been part of the Euros. But we won't even see Xerxes play until Man City in the Community Shield. There'll be no pre-season for Xerxes at all. So good work there by Wheatley. Wins it back. Here's Mabry. Somebody diving at his feet there, but that's better from Mabry. Williams, good reverse pass into Mabry and a tackle. Big up, Alex. I remember that, says Nigel. Wan says, what happened to Alex? Hadn't seen him recently. He's still about. I mean, it's a long time since he's been on a show. I mean, the thing is, we don't do those types of, Zoom type shows anymore. And I mean, Alex is always welcome on the shows. Like Jordan travels up from Cardiff to do them, but we do all our fan forum stuff in person, don't we? So, is Collier on the bench, George? Yeah, we'll see him in the second half, and it's been a good test so far for United. Rosenberg have been very, very physical. Probably should have had a red card. Halfway through their season in Norway, and this will be good. The players will know they've been in a game here when they come off, and it's just a nice introduction to pre-season. Hannibal's starting to warm up a little bit now, much tidier. Somebody did say a minute ago that what was it they said? I think Hannibal could be first team standard. So my new book's coming out very soon. You can pre-order it by scanning the QR code or going through the link in the description. But we read a little bit this morning, and I'm a massive fan of pre-season. But there is a little bit in the book about this, and I was talking about this morning. Pre-season ultra. Where was it? Oh yeah, this was it. I was talking about Pereira. Okay, so pre-season Pirlo for me started with Pereira. He'd run through Wigan like Imodium Plus, both wings, as a number 10, even in the central midfield. Along with some outrageous flicks and tricks, there was a burst of pace to go with it, as well as passes being switched all over the place. I bloody loved him. I'd happily stay up until the middle of the night to watch him give those boys from San Jose a beating. When United were linked to James Rodriguez, I even said, and this is true, there was no point in signing James Rodriguez. We already had Pereira. So I absolutely have to own it myself that I've learnt the hard way about overhyping people in pre-season. James Rodriguez at that point was only about 18 months off that World Cup 2014. We were linked to him and I was like, we don't need him. We've got Pereira. Obviously, that was as good as it got for pre-season Pirlo Pereira. And he made 45 sporadic first-team appearances over 8 seasons and eventually signed for Fulham. But as I said in the book, that's the purpose of pre-season Pirlo, though. You need to accept that these players are for pre-season only. For them and you, that's as good as it's ever going to get, and that's fine. They more than serve their purpose in lighting up otherwise dull and pointless pre-season games. In my eyes, for these players, the real season is pre-season. Then they can rest and be in prime shape for the following year when they can pull on a first-team shirt and cook again. So get yourself involved in pre-season. A little bit of a story there about my pre-season Pirlo mistake, which was Pereira. Can you remember when he scored that free kick against Liverpool? That was in the early hours. I celebrated it like a prime Beckham free kick. There used to be a little clip of me celebrating that thankfully has gone into the, annals of history, never to be seen again. But I used to get the piss taken out of me for about 3 years after that. It was a free kick in a meaningless friendly against Liverpool. And they absolutely battered us. They destroyed us. And then we got this free kick. Pereira scored, and I celebrated it like we won the FA Cup. Wan-Bissaka not using first team numbers, strange, says Sherm. And well, they've not got names on the back of the shirt either. Watching Man United again is definitely a good cure for my English hangover, says Joko. Can't wait for the game in South Carolina. Just back from work, says Niall. How's the game? And thanks to you and That's Football for your coverage of the Euros. Great community. Looking forward to a big season ahead, says Niall. Nathan, I've not missed your super chat. I just need to catch up. And we've had 25 minutes. Rosenborg have definitely been sharper. But this is our first pre-season game and they're halfway through their season. They've been bloody physical. They've thrown a few tackles in. I think some players are struggling, but that's fitness and sharpness as you'd expect. So I've quite enjoyed it so far. But Nathan said, what's your take on us letting go of Camboala and who's the one player you'd love for us to bring in this season? Nathan probably missed that because I've answered that question so many times. I'm stunned by how bothered people are about Camboala. I mean, I've been asked it so many times. I really don't find it that interesting. I'm not dismissing you, Nathan, but what I mean is he played a few sporadic games at the end of the season. He wasn't even fit for the last month. And I think that, I was a bit disappointed, as I've said many times, but he wants to play. So he decided to go. United would have kept him as a fifth choice player or maybe loaned him, but he wanted first team football and there was interest. His agent generated interest. So I think United have done the right thing. I don't think United have said to him, you're up for sale, go out, go and do it. He's knocked on the door early. He's got himself an early move. I wish a few other players would do that, if I'm being completely honest. What one player would I like to bring in, though? I think where we're at the moment, I really want us to bring a midfielder in. That's the area that I'm panicking about. Well, I wouldn't say I'm panicking about, but look, oh, good goal. Good. Oh, he's hit that post. He's hit the post. Rosenborg, edge of the box, curled it lovely. Keeper was beaten and hit the foot of the post. Now Rashford. That's going to be a foul and maybe a yellow card. But it was probably him again. 39. Lovely little curler. And no, they're just showing us the yellow card on Rashford here. I'll come back to that midfield conversation. Here it is. Nice ball out to the left. Yeah, lovely shot. He's looked all right. This This 39, lovely technique on his left foot. He's been their standout player. He's gone and got himself booked as well, but everyone's talking about Nipan, but that was a lovely, lovely bit of play there. I think United are going to win a free kick on the edge. Rashford. He's not changed. Held onto the ball for too long. Yeah, Broholm. He's been their best player so far. Marius Broholm. And they're on the attack again here, Rosenborg. He's only 19. Marius Broholm. He's played well. Well done. Loving watching Man United with any stress or frustration. Perfect tonic after last. I tell you what, Graham, I'm thoroughly enjoying it as well. I'm glad that everybody can see that. Rashford's gone down as well. DS says you're as silly as clowns. I think Rashford should just get rid of the ball a bit. He's not, just get rid of the ball there. I know you're playing Rosenborg. You probably want to get your confidence up, but in pre-season, if I was Rashford, I'd be passing the ball, because getting your confidence up and taking it into the new season, taking teams on again, it's just going to lead to the same problems. Just pass the ball. Take the time to make some sense. We're missing McTominay, says Robert. We're missing a lot more than McTominay, mate. We're missing match fitness. We're missing most of our first team. Do you think people like Rasmus and Bruno are sat in Mykonos with a sangria, just watching this on their phone? I like the idea of that. Sat in a lovely restaurant in your shorts, got it on your phone, having a glass of sangria, just watching it. Lovely ball over the top. There we go. They're probably not. I mean, I don't know how the modern footballer works, Maybe they just couldn't give a shit. Darren's not happy with the shirt. He says it's another crap Adidas shirt. Yeah, there is an 8 o'clock show tonight. I don't know whether I'm going to bother doing a match reaction. I might do a little quick one, but... Nice little pass there. Standout players so far, Mark. It's difficult, really. It's really difficult. I think Fish and Evans have done well. They have exploited the left-hand side a lot. The Rashford and Murray side. They've exploited our midfield a lot, which has got Casemiro. A lovely interception by Wheatley. Let's see what he can do. Simple pass in there. Oh, it wasn't a bad cross, but I think there was a pass on that was a better option. But I just think so much of this is coming down to fitness and sharpness. And there's a bit of a break on here. What a ball that is. What a ball that is. Rosenborg on the attack again. And he goes near post. And they've been a very, very... They've been a very, very good team, Rosenborg, so far. Do you think Danny says, Mark, do you think Rasmus massively cares about the signing of Xerxes? I mean, I don't want to speak out of turn here, but I think it's very obvious that Rasmus is fully aware that he cannot be the only striker at Manchester United. It's not good for his health. It's not good for his fitness. And it's just not normal. So... I would be pretty sure that Rasmus would be very happy about a new striker coming in. And I seem to remember him saying something in an interview towards the end of the season that hopefully we'll get Martial back before the end of the season to, you know, share the load. I think he's fully aware that there needs to be another striker who, when he's tired, can come on, or you know, when he needs a rest, they can come on. And obviously, you know, that's not always the case. He might the other striker might be better and he goes on the bench. But I think it's very important. Rosenberg in again here. One more pass. This should be a goal. Great save by the keeper. Rosenberg absolutely on top here. And again they're in. And another save. Would have been an own goal, that. 2 good saves by a keeper. Yeah, they're getting in down that left-hand side a lot. I think Murray's getting double-teamed a lot at left-back. You can see his head's dropped a little bit there. But again, I think that was Will Fish with the interception that would have been an OG. I can't believe we've got people in the chat saying it's going to be a long season. I mean, you literally can't. This is pre-season. It's the first pre-season game. Rosenberg are halfway through their season. If we went to Ireland and we played Dundalk, they would give us a game, and they're in a relegation battle in the Irish League, and they would give us a game because they're halfway through their season, they're fully fit and raring to go. Whereas for our players, most of them have only been training after a month off for a few days. Yeah, I know Dundalk are crap, Rory, but that's my whole point. I bet United charge them for MUTV, says the Wheelbarrow. Cheers from the stadium, Mark. Rosenberg got this, says Luz. Hey, if you're in the stadium, big shout out. And Shiam says, I personally am not liking the kit. The shirties are still okay, but it doesn't go along with the red, white pant. What about you? Which one is your favourite? Says Shiam. I think the kit's just a little bit red and white for me. Which obviously, I know that's obvious, but I like a little bit more black in it, if you know what I mean. There's a lot of red and white there, and the shorts have got white and red on as well. Actually, I don't think the shirt's the big problem. I think it's the red on the shorts. I'd rather that was black. It just feels, it doesn't, there's too much red and white on it. And I know we're wearing black socks, but I'd like a little bit more black on the shorts. Mark, Man United versus Arsenal will be my first Man United game. Do you think more of the first team will be available for that game, says Alberto. So we play Arsenal a week on Saturday. You will definitely have the likes of Rasmus, McTominay, Sancho, Ahmad, Anthony, Maguire, Lindelof. You're not going to have Xerxes, Bruno. You might have Bruno. You're not going to have Xerxes, Mainu, Shaw, Garnacho, Martinez. You might have Bruno and Dalot on the US tour. I personally wouldn't, but you might have them. Mullen, I'll come back to that. Mullen says, how do I get a signed copy of your book in the States? Canada. You can pre-order the book through the link in the description or by scanning the QR code through Amazon. You can get the Audible, where I read the whole book out. I actually quite like Audible books now. Or you can get the actual physical book. If you want a signed copy... Oh! Good block. Johnny Evans. They're in again. Rosenberg. He's offside. You can get a signed copy through WH Smith. But that's a UK outlet. So what I would do is, and there are some secret signed copies where I've put little messages in, like, you know, I can't say some of them. But WH Smith is a UK outlet. So what I would do is, if you know someone in the UK, get them to order it for you and then just get it shipped out. That's probably the best way of doing it. Another tackle there. Good play by Hannibal, and definitely a foul. That should be a yellow card as far as I'm concerned, but I don't think he's going to give it. They've been very sharp, Rosenborg. Looking forward to seeing some of the players in the second half. Yes. I think Collier, for me, in that midfield will be very interesting. I'm interested to see Jack Fletcher as well. I mean, it might be a little bit too soon. Darren Fletcher's son, but another midfielder. Scanlon, attacking midfielder. I don't know whether they're going to be, obviously Amas, I don't know whether they're going to be breakthrough players or not. Ennis on the wing, Mata on the wing. I don't know whether any, there's so many. Like, maybe none of them break through. Maybe some of them do. I think a lot of us are of the opinion that Amas and Collier are the two that have got a good chance of breaking through. But, you know, you just don't know. You don't know, and I think that's the exciting thing. Andy says, I'm surprised Bruno isn't playing 90 minutes today. And Ramsey says, how close are United to signing De Ligt? 8 o'clock show, we'll have an update on that. One more pass, and it would have been a goal. Wheatley gets the shot off, but I tell you what, if he'd slipped that across to Williams, he was one-on-one. Wheatley is a striker. He's got every right to hit this, but look at this. One little pass, and he's got Williams in. But to be honest, in that good pass by Mason Mount, I think in that situation as a striker, you're always going to hit it. You're always going to hit that. Always going to hit that. Do you think Rashford will be off in the second half, Alex? I think they'll all be off in the second half. I mean, what normally happens is you get 45 minutes for one team and 45 minutes for another. And then at some point in the in America, we'll start giving, probably by the Liverpool game, maybe by the San Jose game, we'll start giving 45 minutes to others. I mean, last season we had that weird game, didn't we, against Wrexham, where their striker got poleaxed by our goalkeeper, where we played all the youth. How many games did we play on the tour last year? It was a lot. Urshan says, I think De Ligt deal's done. I think if it was done, we'd have a here we go, mate. Thanks for all the super chats, by the way. Absolute legends. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Do Devon and Moore walking and driving tours. Welcome to the members club. Love that, and I love Devon. Wheatley looks good too, says the Big P. And Jamie B says, I have ordered the book. How do I get into the competition? Oh, over there. He's hit the bar. They've hit the post, they've hit the bar. Rosenborg have hit the bar there. Mine's a pint. There's a player down here, ref. Great save. Oh, my God. Matthew Frost wants to see Seb. Keeper's been amazing, says James J. Jamie B, if you want to enter the competition, scan the QR code as it goes round or go through the link in the description and click the penguin link. That's how you enter the competition. Just fill in your details there. Very good look in it as well. So scan the QR code, go through the link in the description, click the penguin link, and that's the enter the competition area. Rosenborg should be leading this game. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Yeah, we are looking forward to the second half. Amas, Collier, etc., etc. Casemiro still looking slow. Yeah, I mean, it's look, it's pre-season. You could say Rashford's not passing. So I think it's hard to be, too critical. But one on the bar there. I mean, that the referee's a twat there. He really should have pulled up. Johnny Evans went down over on his back. Good save. That one-on-one save by the keeper was very, very good. Vitek looks like a good goalkeeper, says Paul. And do you think Shaw or Scott will be at the Liverpool game, says CF Cash? Luke Shaw won't be at that game. But I think Scott McTominay will. They're in again. This keeper's bloody brilliant, isn't he? He looks brilliant in goal. I'd like to see his distribution a bit. He's made some bloody good saves in this game. This is another good one. Really quick reactions there. He was on loan at Accrington Stanley last season. I think people are getting him... I think some people in the chat are getting him mixed up with Kovar, who obviously went with a buyback clause. But, I mean, he's only 20. For a goalkeeper, that's very, very young. I mean, what's the youngest you can remember? Pre-season Buffon. I love it. I love it. He's the pre-season Buffon. Yeah, I mean, what's the youngest goalkeeper? Here's a question for you. Who's the youngest goalkeeper that you can think of that was playing at the highest level? I mean, De Gea was young at Man United. He was early 20s. I can't remember when Buffon started, what age he was at Juventus or Casillas at Real Madrid. But it's quite rare for goalkeepers to do, you know, to be playing that. Donnarumma, of course. Yeah, a lot of people saying that. We're about to hit half time here. Broham has played very, very well for them. Absolutely no doubt about it. Mason Mount there again. I mean, that could be a red card in the Prem. Man City in 25 days. Can we get a squad to compete, says Sanil. So nice to watch a United game, even if it's pre-season. Man of the match for United is the keeper, says SK. Nipan and Broham have been amazing, says Jack. Can someone tell me when Cobra Kai's out, by the way? That must be out this week. Hughes Lad says, my dad passed away yesterday. Sorry to hear that, mate. Really sorry. That's very fresh for you as well. So I know you'll be going through a difficult time there. So thoughts with you. Says, this channel has helped me so much throughout the last year. Thank you, Mark, in the chat. Well, yeah, love to you, mate, as well. You know, it's not a nice time, I know, but I'm glad that the community provides you with some escapism. It's half time, by the way. Vitek looks a good goalkeeper, says Paul. Wheatley looks good too. Andy says, surprise Bruno. Ramsey says, how close are we to that? It's half time on the pitch by the looks of it, because Ten Hag has got the players talking on the pitch. And do you think solidifying the defence with signings would allow Mainu, Mount and Bruno to work? I do. Or do you think Agate is the answer, says Matty? I mean, I think Agate needs bringing in anyway. Do you think Xerxes has a high ceiling, says 7-inch Destroyer? We'll have to wait and see. Mark, the goalkeeper looks good, but do goalkeepers fall into pre-season Pirlo territory? Also, Suzuki or Kovar as Bienda replacement, says Martin Sund. Hey, mate, look, I'm not here to start saying that Vitek is the answer to, you know, our goalkeeping issues. If Bienda goes, I think at 20 years of age, you've got to be out on loan. You've got to be playing. So there's no point in having a 20-year-old backup goalkeeper. He needs to play. But he's played well in that first half. Certainly. Certainly played well. Let's have a quick look at the stats because we can show you that, so we may as well. And Manchester United have been rustier than a bike that's been left out all winter. It's very, 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 very rusty from Manchester United. But I'm very, very relaxed about that because it's the first pre-season game for Manchester United. We've hardly got any of our first team available. And Rosenborg are halfway through their season and literally played a game on Friday. So they're sharp, they're fit, and fitness is key. And this team is not fit. And that's the whole point of pre-season is to, earn your fitness. But what I will say is, and Max says there, Fish has been class. I think Fish has played well at centre-back. I think Vitek has played well in goal. And whilst there will always be an excuse that it's only pre-season, and I mentioned that when I was reading my book, then obviously it's pre-season, but there is also an opportunity there. If Wheatley scores that goal, we'd be talking about, what can he do? And that's what pre-season is. It's an opportunity to impress. If you don't impress, I don't think it's the end of the world. If you're a first-team player, certainly. But I think that there are opportunities there. I think Mount has played well. Yeah, I think Ronnie is right. I think Mount's looked lively. But as I said, for me, I think Murray at left back's been double-teamed too much. I think Casemiro and Rashford look like it's the first half of an hour they've played of pre-season. Hannibal doesn't look fit to me at all, which is surprising because he's a player that you'd think would be wanting to play well. We haven't really seen anything of Williams on the wing. Wheatley had that one chance. Wan-Bissaka again has been a little bit rusty. Johnny Evans is Johnny Evans. But so yeah, I think Vitek and Fish are probably the two that I think have done the best. God, I wouldn't be surprised if people were saying Ten Hag out on Twitter because it's just clueless. It's pre-season. I remember I've seen us have good pre-seasons and then lose the first couple of games of the season. I've seen us have crap pre-seasons and then go on and win titles. So I think it's been a really good test for us. They're a lot quicker. They're a lot more physical. And it will be good for the players that have played. I have high hopes for Xerxes, says, and very good deal. Thank you very much. Jack says, thanks for all the shows, Mark. Keep me going every day. Thank you very much, mate. Look, in the second half, we've got Collier to come on, which I'm very excited about. Jack Fletcher is obviously Darren Fletcher's son. He's another player that's, very highly rated. Amas is going to come on as well. So you've got 3 young players in the second half. And I think in pre-season, I'd rather be getting a look at Amas and Fletcher and Collier than Casemiro and Mabry and Mount, to be honest with you, because they're players on big wages. Obviously Mabry's not, but these, look at Kobe Mainu. Are we going to produce another Kobe Mainu in the next year or two or the next 5 years? Probably not, because he's got the potential to be amazing, and so has Garnacho. But there could be another diamond coming through. Centimeter says Mount always wants to pass the ball. It's very refreshing. Appreciate that. Make sure you subscribe, by the way, bottom right hand corner. So yeah, we're going to go through. Look at the stats. 54% possession. They've played a lot more passes than us. Their accuracy's been better, but we've put a few tackles in. We've not really created anything, which I think is the big disappointment so far. We've not been able to really get the ball to the wide players, Williams or Rashford, and we've certainly not given much to the striker. But I think that's just what happens. I think pre-season, I like pre-season. We've been doing it for years, and I do enjoy it. But I think that there are different things that you want to get from pre-season. I think sometimes it's about getting your fitness up, and I think a game like that helps. And sometimes it's about getting your rhythm going. And what I mean by that is when you play Rosenborg, this is definitely fitness for those players. We've picked Rosenborg on purpose. They are 100% fitter than us and match fit. So whoever plays in this game today is going to really feel it at full time because they've really had to work hard against a team that's fitter. So they'll get a lot of benefits from that. When you look at when we play Betis, that will be more about rhythm and passing, because Betis, I doubt, will be, well, they won't be at the level of Rosenborg fitness-wise. They might even be a little bit behind us. So there's different things you want from pre-season. Today is really about making them work hard against the team that's halfway through their season. And then I think when you play Betis, that will be more about, and Rangers on Saturday, Rangers fitness will not be the same as Rosenborg. So Rangers on Saturday will be more about movement and actual creativity. Whereas I think this is just a real hard gym session against a team that's fully fit. So I think that you've got to understand pre-season and you've got to know what you're looking to get from pre-season. And this was a very good pick. Already I can see it was a very good pick because the players are going to be tired after this. And they're going to have a harder week now trying to get up to the levels they need to be. Mount was Eriksen's replacement and Mainu stopped it, says Paddy. Mike Smith, welcome to the Members Club. You're a legend. And Jeffrey says Hannibal is not a serious footballer. No sign of improvement from him. You know what, Jeffrey? Hannibal doesn't look fit to me. And obviously I know it's pre-season. You're allowed to watch that. Yeah, Hannibal doesn't look... compared to what I saw from Hannibal last pre-season, he looks a little bit... I don't want to get the word wrong. I think he was physically in a better shape than he looks like at the moment. If I put it like that, he just doesn't look fit. So yeah, that's what I would say about that. And look, is he? What's that all about? I mean, look at, you can slag off Jesse Lingard, but Jesse Lingard in a game like this, first pre-season game, would be levels because he will have kept himself in June doing all the drill work and everything like that, so that his fitness doesn't drop off. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Click and subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. We are only about 100 subscribers away from 891,000. We're on the road to 1.9. We want to hit 1.9 by the time we play Fulham, because then going into the new season, it's the road to 2 million, which will be you can all be part of. So please do subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. And if you have subscribed, just click the share button. Any clue where Ahmad is, says Alex. Ahmad, Anthony, Sancho, Maguire, Lindelof. Give me some more names. They're all in pre-season now, but they're not... they're all doing individual training programs, not quite ready for this. So you'd expect all of them back Saturday, Rangers. So yeah, I think we'll see Anana as well. Yeah, Anana as well. Although, look, I mean, this is the plus side of it. If Anana had played, you wouldn't have seen Vitek. So there are positives and there are opportunities. And if you didn't see Vitek, he wouldn't have had a good performance, and then he wouldn't be a player that you'd be thinking about for the next couple of years, going, oh, I'll keep an eye on what he's doing on loan next year. Maybe he'd be a good goalkeeper. I mean, what we haven't seen from Vitek is what his ball distribution's like. But look, if you were a club in the Championship, or certainly in League One, you might look at Vitek and go, I quite like the look of him on loan. And for me, that would be a very good idea. How's Nipan playing? He's scouted by many top clubs, says Carl. I actually think that Bronham has played better than him. I don't know anything about either player, but I think the number 39, who has hit the bar and the post, has played better than him. So Paul says, I think Hannibal needs to go permanently. I think he probably will. Mike Smith, welcome to the Members Club. You're a legend. Thank you very much for supporting the channel and getting your badge in. Let me have a look at Mabry's contract, because I believe we signed him on a new contract not that long ago. But he was 21, and he's only just 21. and his contract expires in 2025. So he's only got 1 year left on his deal. So I can't see him getting a new one. So yeah, he's almost putting himself in the shop window, isn't he? But yeah, I guess we'll just wait and see. There is an 8... Hulkman says McTominay's girlfriend latest Instagram post has over 6,000 comments and they're all from Galatasaray fans. Do you reckon he will go? Never in a million years is he going to go to Galatasaray. I mean, let's do a poll. Would you sell Scott McTominay? He's never going to go to Galatasaray. I mean, look, never say never. I just did. But I just can't see it. I mean, he's had offers to go to British clubs and not gone. I just can't imagine that he's going to go and play in Turkey. I'd be very happy if he did, but I can't see it. I mean, I don't really care where he goes, if I'm being honest. Turkey, Australia, it doesn't matter. But I just can't. And I'm not individualising that. I don't think Harry Maguire would go and play in Turkey. I don't think Wan-Bissaka will go and play in Turkey. And nothing against Turkey. I just think they won't. Look, traditionally, British players don't go and play abroad very often. Obviously, Harry Kane, Jude Bellingham. There are others, but it's not that common. No, I just don't see it. 78% of you would sell McTominay to Galatasaray. Linda feels miserable, slept on the couch and have a hangover over yesterday. Yeah, I think I had a few drinks last night. Was disappointed, but you know, I knew Man United were playing today. There's plenty to get our teeth into, and really, I'm a bit tired. You can tell by the yawn, but no, really, just move on. You know, England were very lucky to get to the final when you deep it. Carragher-owned European lad. I think it went the other way, Dino, really. I don't think either of them came out of it with any credibility, actually. He's not good enough for us, even from the bench. Time to part ways, says Dave on McTominay. Do you think Man United have been underwhelming today, says Flirt? I don't care. Honestly, don't care. I don't think it matters. I think it's about, as I said, I was just explaining what pre-season is. And some pre-season games are about patterns of play and how you're playing. And some pre-season games about pure fitness. This is pure fitness. When I used to do pre-season, we would train on a Monday night, a bit of ball work, and then Thursday ball work, and then Tuesday we'd go to the local bloody boxing gym and be trained by one of their trainers. And there wouldn't be any football. It would be horrible stuff. Like lying down, catching a medicine ball, throwing it back, lying down. I mean, you'd literally be throwing out. You'd be throwing up afterwards. It was just pure and utter fitness. And I think that's what this game has been selected for. Pure fitness. Joel says, I've packed McTominay's bags already. Let's see what changes we've got in the second half. Clinton Kennedy, lovely name. Thank you very much for joining the members club. Let's have a look at what changes we've got in the second half. Daniel Fox, welcome to members clubs as well. Is it a complete set of changes for Manchester United here? We will have to wait and see. It certainly looks like it. That is, I think that's Fletcher. I think that's Fletcher, number 9. I might be completely wrong there. But we should be able to get you the updated team anyway. That's the first half team, but it should update quite quickly. We're just about ready to kick off for the second half here. That certainly looks like it's Amas at left back and Collier in the midfield about to receive the ball. Just waiting on the ref. There we go. So keep your eye out. A whole different team in the second half. 45 minutes. for each side, as we predicted. Welcome to all the members, by the way. Absolute legends, getting your badge in. Thanks for your support. Collier's captain in the second half, says Raz. There's Darren Fletcher watching his son. I mean, look, Darren Fletcher's one of those people. I don't know what his role is at the club, actually. I don't think it really matters, but yeah, that's Amas 23. I mean, what I would say about Amas is it's like watching Luke Shaw. Like his body type, the way he passes the ball, the way he moves. If we get a lot of the ball to Amas, you'll be like, he's like a bloody Luke Shaw prototype. It's Jackson and Bennett, I think, will be the centre backs. There's Amas. There's Collier. Does well. I like Collier. He's quick and he's big. He's like a McTominay who can tackle and pass. That's how I describe Collier. He reminds me of, and you've got to be a certain age. Every player you ever watch, you will go, oh, he's a little bit like that. It's human nature. He reminds me a little bit of Effenberg. Can you remember Effenberg? And not Sammer, it was Effenberg. He reminds me of Effenberg, German midfielder who was really big and looked too big to play in the midfield, but actually is really mobile and good on the ball. He's massive. Yeah, Stefan Effenberg. Have they made the changes to this yet? But yeah, keep an eye on Amas and Collier in that team. But also you've got people like Fletcher, Mata, Ennis. Lots of people to keep an eye out. Who's going to win in scoreline, says Madaf. Well, Man United look better in the second half already. There it is. Let me just pause that. Bloody twats. There's all the changes. Not everybody's off. I think Mason Mount's still on. Looks like Mason Mount's still on. Let me have a look here. Rosenberg haven't made that many changes. So Rosenberg have only made 2 changes. As you can see, I'm going to pause this for a bit so you can get used to some of the players and me. But we've made a complete change apart from Fish and Mason Mount. No, that can't be right. Because that hasn't got Collier on it. They've got that wrong. That's not right, that team. Mount's off for Collier. So they've not got that right. Mount is definitely off and Collier's on. I was looking for Mount there, so they've not got that right. So you've got Amas, Bennett. I think Fish is off as well. I'm just looking at United Stand Twitter. So the team is second half: Vitek, Agonyi at right back, Bennett and Alofri, Amas at left back, Collier, Ayodele and Scanlon, Hugill, Ennis. There's only 3, 6, 9, 10, 11. Yeah. It's the numbers you need to keep an eye out for. Fletcher's definitely playing as well. Yeah, Fletcher, that's it. Fletcher looks like he's playing up front. Hugill in behind. No, Hugill will play down the middle. We'll get there. We'll get there. Stephen, welcome to Members Club. You're a legend. Daniel Fox says, are you looking forward to the session, Mark? Hopefully better football being played. Yeah, well, this happens a lot in pre-season where the younger players really can outdo the senior players. I don't know why that happens. Can't wait to see the new squad. Irish James in Miami, says Irish Miami Jimmy. But still a lot of the players on for Rosenborg, so we know that we know how well they played in the first half. So how well can these lads do in the second half? And here's Collier again. Ball stuck under his feet, but wins the foul. %82 of you would sell Scott McTominay to Galatasaray. Probably because the youngsters play without fear, says Jelena. Ennis is number 20. Winger. Scanlon, number 14. I think he's playing on the wing. 19 is Fletcher. Joe Hugel, you'll know him from previous years. Plays up front. Was on loan last year. Can't remember how that went. Collier is the captain in the second half. Yeah, Collier came in with a really good reputation. We got him from Brighton. I can't remember. I think, did we not get Amas from Brighton as well, or did he come through the youth? I get mixed up. It's good for them, though. I mean, it's really good. I mean, look, we were talking about Amas a few weeks ago and whether he could have a breakthrough season. And I think it's the only thing that stops some of these players having a breakthrough season, and it'll be down to Ten Hag and the coaching team, is whether they're actually ready for it yet. But this is playing against Rosenborg's senior team, so you know. It's Collier again, look, breaking up the play. He looks good. You know, we've got high hopes for Collier, and he does look good. I know he's only been playing for 7 minutes, but he gets involved, and that's the thing. You look at what Mabry did in that first 45 minutes. Didn't really notice him. You look at what Collier's done in 6 minutes. You know, he's getting involved. All right, there's been a couple of misplaced tackles and passes, but he gets involved. Lacey's not in the squad, no, Peter. I don't. No, he didn't travel at all. So, had a date with a girl from another country, says Sven. We communicate in a foreign language. Do you think it's going to work out? There's only one language I speak, and that's the language. Well, look, we're all the same language when we get down to it, I suppose. But I think that. I don't know, mate. I've never been out with somebody that doesn't speak my language. It's an interesting one. You'll have to keep us updated. Oh, look at that flick by Collier there. Bloody hell. He had nowhere to go and he just played a little flick into Amas. See that? Bennett kind of looks like Vidic, says Isaiah. I'm expecting a Casemiro resurgence and a title run, says Gareth. Collier's the real deal, says Connor. Have we changed the keeper, or is it the same keeper? I think it might be the same keeper. No, Vitek's still in goal. I was going to say that distribution was quite good. He's so... I tell you what about Collier as well. He's so bloody quick. He's so quick, and his passing is so precise. Unbelievable. I think I found my pre-season Pirlo. You can't be a pre-season Pirlo as a young player, though. He is. The interesting about Collier though is, and I will say this: Collier's 20, so he's actually a year. You know, he's older than Mainu, so he's absolutely ready to go. Like it's this season for him. Oh, good play by the keeper again. Impressing, coming for a cross. Savage really likes the keeper. Collier is the Frenkie de Jong regen. There are de Jong vibes to it, yeah. Van Nistelrooy and Ten Hag having a bit of a laugh. Daniel says number 6 is good. Yeah, that's Collier. And this is what I mean. Look, you know, you look at what Collier's done in 10 minutes, and it's infinitely better than what we saw from Mabry, Casemiro, pretty much anyone in our front 6 in the first half. And you sort of ask the question, why? Enthusiasm, wants to prove a point, fitter. Collier is the blonde, Busquets is a Toro. How are we playing, says Vigo? Well, much better in the second half. There's a much better shape. But Rosenberg were very good in the first half. Collier's a CDM, says Shane. Is exactly... You know, if I could pick a young player to come through this season, I would want a CDM. Oh, lovely play by Rosenberg. And side netting. Vitek can also be used to bolster the budget, says Tyler. But yeah, if you wanted a young player to come through this season, I think we're ridiculously short in the midfield. And also, you know, talking about selling McTominay, Collier's height, I don't know how tall he is. It might just be you know, there's a lot of small players on the pitch, but he's got to be north of 6'1". So, yeah, look, it's very early days, but I'd love it if he did come through and solve the problem for there. Because somebody said earlier, what's the one position that you would love Man United to buy a player in? We're obviously going to buy centre-backs, but I think the midfield is always going to be the area that worries me. Games are won and lost in the midfield. And, you know, we know we're looking at Agate, but I do worry about the midfield. Here we go. You're in, mate. Go on. Ennis down the left-hand side. Needs a bit of help. Edge of the box. Edge of the box. Siegel, get out of the bloody way. I should have passed that. Should have passed that. Apparently he's actually 5'10". He looks. This is what I mean. I think the Norwegian team is small. Because he looks a lot bigger than that, doesn't he? So, can be deceptive, dependent on the opposition. Yeah, they've got him as 5'9". He's bigger than 5'9". If he's 5'9", we're playing against bloody hobbits. He's got to be bigger than 5'9". Wikipedia's probably not been updated. He's bigger than 5'9". If you're watching this game, you can tell. I mean, look, Joe Hugel is about... What's Joe Hugel? Joe Hugel's about 6'3". Joe Hugel's only 20. No, Joe Hugel's about 6'2", 6'3". So I'd say there's no way Collier's 5 inches smaller than Joe Hugel. Nice ball in behind. Collier's there, though. Good defensive play. See there. Again, good defensive play. Right, load of subs coming on from Rosenberg now. Just while we've got a break here, please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner, we're doing all the pre-season watch-alongs on the United Stand. I can't believe you wouldn't know what the United Stand is, but we're live every night at 8 o'clock, every morning at 10 o'clock. All the latest news, chat, breaking transfer news, reaction. Get involved with that. Ruud van Nistelrooy just giving Amas a bit of encouragement there. Kieran G says that, afternoon, Marky, what's your dream takeaway order? Mine's phoning him up and asking, do you do liver and pineapple on a pizza? Oh, Kieran, that sounds... I don't mind pineapple on a pizza, but liver. Yegan says, what do you know of Rosenberg? Nothing. Nothing, really. Other than they used to be pretty good. I remember them from Champions League years ago. Well done, Amas. So many birds in the stadium, says Moy. He's talking about the seagulls. He's not being sexist. I'll defend him there. Bit of an update on Yoro. Apparently still would prefer to join Real Madrid. Why does the bid keep going up? Apparently it's 63 million euros. They accepted 44. I don't get it. Hi Mark, just joined the live. Did any first team players touch the pitch yet? And if so, how did they look? Mount, Casemiro, Rashford, Evans, Wan-Bissaka all played in the first half. I'd say they looked like it was their first game of pre-season. Nice ball out wide. They've had a lot of joy. Cut back. Oh, they've hit the bar again. I'll tell you what, they've hit the wood more times than a woodpecker. They've absolutely... Look at the cutback. There we go. To be fair, that's probably... It's a good save as well. He saved it onto the post. What a save. Alex says that player who did the awful tackle on Casemiro should have been seen red regardless. That could have caused a serious injury. It was a bad tackle, Alex. Yeah, it was. What happened to our signing today after yesterday's announcement, says Tony? I don't know. Look, I don't know. I really did expect United having, you know, announced Xerxes at 4 o'clock on a Sunday. It really does stink of clearing the decks for today. Maybe they just thought that England would win the Euros and it wouldn't be a good day to announce it. So I don't know, but I don't know why you'd announce a new signing at 4 o'clock and then not do it on and then have nothing lined up on a Monday. But nothing so far. Good point in the chat there about cutbacks. We're only 10 subscribers away from 891,000, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. Thank you very much. Somebody was in the chat there talking about cutbacks being a problem last season. Obviously, they just had a chance there from a cutback. Yeah, I mean, look, there's a lot defensively that went wrong last season that you would hope not to see this season. But... that has been a problem that predates Erik ten Hag as well. The cutback, or as I more specifically call it, the inability to track runners from midfield. It used to go with, it used to happen a lot with Fred, McTominay. It is something that we need to get better at. Carlos, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you. Chandler, thank you very much for your chat. Here's Collier again. Oh, God. He will pick it up again. I tell you what, his passing has been immaculate. But I think the thanks for subscribing, Thomas. I think both left backs have struggled a bit in this game. Amas in the second half and Murray in the first half. I think they're really getting double teamed a lot by this Rosenberg side. Good play by Amas there, though. He's probably overhit that a little bit. It's a shame. He did really well, but then his touch he just overhit the pass a little bit in front of him. And now they're in. That will be onside as well. Rosenberg running down that right-hand side again. So many of their attacks have come from there, and it's another shot wide. Tahoe, thanks for subscribing. Corbs and... I think we've done Carlos. Corbs, welcome to... Thanks for being a member for 26 months. Absolute legend. He says, are there penalties if it's a draw? I don't know. Anyone know if we go to penalties? If it's a draw? Pre-season probably would do that, wouldn't they? Cameron Willis, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. Legend. And I trust this keeper more than Onana, says Cena already. WrestleMania says, where are we at with the Delit deal? Red no bid yet, and Bayern need to pay 8 million wages before they let him leave. Bloody hell, I haven't read that Wrestle India. I'll have to have a look at that for the 8 o'clock show. Next pre-season game is Saturday at 4 o'clock. Looking forward to that. Rangers, and then off to the US. I definitely like the structure of this pre-season tour than last year. It feels like there's a lot more time in between games to, work on patterns and pre-season, and also good cross, good clearance. Good play there. Look at that skill. Lovely play. And a good block again. The corner for Rosenberg. Do you think Ibrahimov, I can never pronounce his name, and Lacey getting opportunities this pre-season, says Zach. It might just be a little bit too early for them, mate. You can't use everybody, I suppose. Hornet says, hi Mark, currently on holiday in the Lake District, getting some much needed away time. Some of the youngsters have very bright futures. Thank you, mate, and I hope you enjoy your break. Sure, a lot of you will be getting your holidays now or in the next few weeks. Have a good one. Oh, go on. Go on then. Here's Ennis. Come on. Drive. Good play. Oh, good shot. I tell you what, when we've got the ball to Ennis, he has looked lively. Very I mean, I don't know how old Ennis is, but physically looks Looks pretty good. $19. Yeah, 19, 20 in December. So again, he's another one that's got to be starting to look for loan moves or breaking through. Apparently United inquiring on Tar whilst getting the Lit deal done seems a bit reckless for negotiations, says Dennis. I mean, read into that what you'd like. Why would you want to piss Bayern Munich off? Does seem a bit funny. I was going to talk about that at 8 o'clock as well. Mind games, says MUFC. Cameron, wait a minute, Rosenberg in again. Good cross, goes out for a goal kick. Cameron says, Mark, what do you think about Sancho back in the squad? Would you still sell him or have him as a backup for either Rashford or Garnacho? I'd sell him, Cameron. I think that, I mean, this is not specific to any Man United player, but when you look at England, Leopards don't change their spots. Southgate needs to go because he'll keep doing the same things. He picks his favourites and the football's crap. He can't just become Pep Guardiola. And I think in football, it's hard for Leopards to change their spots. I just don't see... I see a honeymoon period again, but I don't see a long-term solution there. I think if he plays on Sunday, he'll probably play very well. But as I say, I panic about pre-season performances from senior players because we've seen them for many years. Pre-season Pirlo. Daryl, welcome to Members Club. Thank you very much for joining. Collier fouled there. I mean, we've not really seen, in fairness, we've hardly seen anything of Fletcher or any of the front three apart from Ennis. They've hardly had the ball. Honest thoughts on Ballon d'Or. Also, when do you think we will get a winner from the Premier League, says Wrestle India? Well, I think we 19 is Fletcher, Lynn. I think we should get. We should have already had a Ballon d'Or winner. I think Haaland deserved it the year that Man City won the treble. That's a nice ball. Hugel, not a bad cross, but there's nobody there. I mean, Collier's energy, again, he's getting into the box there, breaking from midfield. He's been all over the pitch. Did Shoretire not travel with the team? Thought we were giving him a new contract and expected him to play. Why do we still shoot from out of the box, says Lake. Shoretire's gone. Lake on the moon. I think he's gone. Pretty sure his contract ran down and he's gone. I think he was training with Greenwood a couple of weeks ago. Just keeping fit. Oddmar says, what separates our academy and how can we be better? Or is it a myth that their academy is the best in the world and just feels they are better? Says, I think he's talking about the Barcelona academy. Yeah, I mean, I think that United's academy is, historically the best in the UK. I think that Chelsea and Man City are doing a very good job now, and there are other clubs, Liverpool, everybody brings players through, but Man United has got a good academy. Of course, it can be better, but I think things are heading in the right direction when you look at Garnacho and Mainu, who've come through in the last couple of years, and hopefully we can keep that continuing. But there are good. I mean, I don't know about other academies in Spain. Barcelona have always had it. Ajax have got a good academy as well. I mean, look at Chelsea, how much money they make out of theirs. Man City as well. Rosenberg on the attack, cross into the back post, well headed away. 1 second, I've just got to put the oven on. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Missed a big chance for Rosenberg. He was offside anyway. There is an 8 o'clock show, yes. Yes, there is an 8 o'clock show. Oh, it was a bad miss. I'm not sure how he could be offside because it seemed to flick off a United player's head, but there won't be any VAR in this. And the Rosenberg goalkeeper has gone down. How has he gone down? I don't think we've been anywhere near him, have we? Oh, that's an interesting one. Not too sure what that's all about, but Rosenberg goalkeeper has gone down injured here. Better goalkeeper now, Alisson or Martinez? It's the United stand, Sanjid. We're not here. It's not the United. It's not That's Football. Get on with it, mate. You've only got about 15 minutes to go, and we've not really had any shots. Chance for a drink break here. Well, look, I think for me, Vitek in goal has done well. The centre-backs have done quite well in both halves. Collier second half has been good. And, I mean, Ennis has been... I just don't think we've got the ball to our front three very effectively in this game, if we're being completely honest. But we're back up and running now. I have noticed someone says, why won't you talk about what people are saying about Amas in the chat? Mate, you know what my stance is, and I don't really care if people agree with it or not. You've got to be true to yourself. I just do not believe in slating young players. I don't know why people judge young players like senior players. The chance of them actually being a Man United first team player is probably less than 0.5%. But the chance of them being a professional footballer is probably 30-40%. So, you know, they're probably never going to play for Man United anyway. But abuse, criticism, whatever, you might actually impact their confidence of having a career. So, to me, a young player, you're figuring out whether they're good enough to play for Manchester United or not. And if they're not, then I hope they go and have careers elsewhere. But Amas is what? I think he's 17. Like, it's probably just too soon, which is exactly what I've been saying all summer. He's 17 and he's only just 17. He was 17 in March. So in February, he was 16. And people are saying he's overrated, he's not all that. I mean, he's bloody 17. Like... I mean, do people not remember Patrice Evra's debut for Man United? It was shit, and we'd spent money on him, and he wasn't 17. So, I think it's way too early to be criticising young players, and I wouldn't criticise them anyway. I mean, can you remember that day on Twitter when Garnacho was getting absolute pelters? It was disgusting. Like Garnacho was getting pelters from so-called Man United fans. So I don't really understand it. I really don't. But Rooney was 16, says Joy. Oh my God. I mean, again, not everybody's Yamal. These are exceptions. The Rooneys, the Yamals, the Norman Whitesides, these players that can play football at the highest level at 16. Where are all the other 16-year-olds then? They're in youth academies waiting 2 or 3 years. They're not ready. It's the rarity that is. And but look, this is the world we live in now. Player FC, unintelligent people who think that every 16-year-old should be playing in the first team for Barcelona or Man United. There's no patience. There's no red. It's all red or green. There's nothing in between, is there? And as Spencer said, he's only 17 and he's playing against Rosenberg's first team as well. He won't have played that many games against first team. Look, I'm completely relaxed about this. I've seen people saying same old shit football. Like, it's amazing. It's amazing. As I said, the Xerxes reaction video yesterday, some of the comments were incredible. There are genuinely still people in our fan base that have not recovered from Ten Hag not getting the sack. And I feel bad for them because they're carrying a lot of negativity. And they're in for a very, very long season because we're going to keep buying players for Ten Hag. This is a long-term project and things will get better and better. And at some point, you've got to get on board with it, or you're gonna spend a lot of time being very miserable. Do you think Vitek will start the next game, or will Onana take his place? Says Harry. Well, am I not right in saying that Kovar did quite well on a tour and then we never saw him again? Did Kovar not play our first pre-season game last year and did really well, and then we didn't see him again? So that was good play by Amas. Bit of a overhit on the pass though. We might not see Vitek again, is what I'm trying to say. But he'll have certainly put himself in the shop window. Remember last season he was on loan at Accrington Stanley. Mark, will this be another pre-season without a proper full team? I hope we don't start the season like last one and only a month is left, says Ryan. Well, you're not going to see Martinez. You're not going to see Garnacho. You're not going to see Luke Shaw. And you're not going to see Maino in this pre-season at all. Definitely not going to see those four. You're not going to see Xerxes. You won't see De Ligt if we sign him. And that's 6 players straight away that we know we're not going to see in pre-season because they're on holiday now. We might see Bruno. I'm trying to figure out how much of a holiday has Bruno had already? A week? He went out on a Friday night, didn't he? So Bruno's had a week. It'll be 2 weeks on Friday. Then it's 3 weeks. I mean, he shouldn't. He could go on tour, but I don't know. I think Bruno needs longer than 3 weeks, but he could go on tour. Dalot could go on tour. Rasmus will. Ericsson will. McTominay will. Streets won't forget Vitek versus Rosenberg, says Paul. Hesham says, I would like to say thanks, Mark. Maybe heard this a lot, but sometimes through tough times, I will turn on the United stand. Really helps. So thank you. Mate, thank you. Really appreciate that. Always nice to see it, to get some positive feedback because, God, there's a lot of toxic ones. Not necessarily on here, sometimes on here, but other platforms. So no, really appreciate it. And I know the team does as well. Thanks for all the super chats today as well. Thanks everyone who subscribed, bottom right hand corner. I don't know whether we're going to get a penalty shootout. I don't know. I don't really think we will. I think sometimes it's pre-agreed that you have a penalty shootout even if there's a winner. But Rosenberg will certainly look at this and wonder why they've not won it. But I think from Man United's point of view, it's not massively concerning. 82% of you would sell Scott McTominay to Galatasaray, by the way. Apparently there are some rumours that could happen. I don't think he'd ever go to Turkey, if I'm being honest. But Rosenberg on the attack again. There was a poll I wanted to do. I can't remember what it was. Oh, here we go. Oh, here we go. And another great save. I mean, if Vitek for Ballon d'Or. He's been brilliant. He's been superb. Absolutely superb. I mean, some of the shots have been straight at him, but he's made so many saves. He deserves the clean sheet. Definitely. And that's a corner there. Here's one for you. I can't remember what I wanted to do. Will United get top 4 next season? I know it's massively predictive because we've not had any games and we don't know who's going to get signed and we don't know who's going to get bought. But do you think United will get top 4 next season? Just want a bit of a straw poll. David's moaning about style of play. David, I really don't have a problem saying this normally, but I'm massively apologetic. You're an idiot. How can you be talking about style of play in pre-season first game with half a team of youth and half a team of a first team, and you think that we're going to play Rosenberg halfway through their season and ping it around like prime Barcelona? This game is about fitness, mate. It's not about knocking the ball about. I mean, what are you going to do? Go on Twitter and say Ten Hag out? I genuinely wouldn't be surprised if that trended, by the way. I think that sort of is the level of some of these people. Yeah. You do not buy my book. Read about pre-season. It's tongue-in-cheek, fun. I love pre-season. But if you are taking pre-season as any gauge on future prospects or anything like that, you're an absolute pillock. Pre-season has got nothing to do, results or style of play, with anything. It's about building fitness, getting your players back. I mean, if anything, you don't want to play that well in pre-season anyway. You want to be ready for the 15th. 67% if you think we will get top 4. I mean, look, I think we've got to get top 4. I don't think Ten Hag would necessarily get the sack if we don't, but I think next season for me, I want to see top 4, and I'd love a trophy again. But yeah, we've got to go for top 4 next year. I mean, it won't be easy to go from 8th to 4th, and you'd automatically put Liverpool, Arsenal, and Man City there. So there's only one spot left, and Villa, Spurs, Chelsea, maybe even Newcastle. It will be tough, but I think that's what we've got to be going for next season. I hate to say it, but 4th place would be like a trophy. Yeah, we beat Arsenal in pre-season last year. Look what happened there. 8 o'clock show for transfer updates, Gaz. Thank you very much. Dun, 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 dun. Well, sometimes I go out by myself. And I look across the water. It's good to be back watching Man United. We're hardcore. I mean, look at the amount of players there are, people actually watching it. I know there's people moaning about style of play and boring and falling asleep, but I don't really care, mate. I don't really care. We're United fans, and if you don't understand what pre-season is, we can't help you. 3 minutes to be added on here. I'm going to do a quick match reaction. I'm not going to do it live. God, you know, I'm not that desperate. But there's a couple of things I'd like to talk about in a quick video. And then we're live at 8 o'clock with the normal evening show. So thanks everyone who's tuned in. Remember, our next watch along is Saturday against Rangers. But we're back to normal. We're talking about all the transfer stuff with you at 8 o'clock. I think there's quite a few to talk about as well. But looks like it's going to finish 0-0, which in some ways is incredible considering they've had 20 shots to our 5. But it's only what Vitek deserves. He has been great. I mean, it's been an absolutely brilliant performance. Missed the game, I was in work. How did Mount place as United Live? I mean, he was okay. I think the standout players for me have been Vitek, and Vitek. And, no, I think Collier played well. Fish was decent in the first half. Any other players that you think have stood out? Let us know. Who to blame, says Mark. My lady wants to add another woman into the relationship. What should I do? I would say I have one demand. Can I pick the lady? Because why not? Yeah, I think Ennis and Scanlon as well. When we've got them on the ball, I'd agree with that. Yeah, a lot of people saying Fish. Matt says, I'm on holiday in Portugal and appreciate the match updates. Thanks for all you and the United Stand do, says Matt. A lot of people on holiday. You're making me jealous. I'd love to be in Mykonos or something like that. Didn't think I needed a holiday this year. I mean, I sort of had one before the Euros and I really should have booked one afterwards. But enjoy yours, everybody. You deserve it. Well, there might be somebody in the chat who doesn't deserve a holiday. You might have been horrible to a dog or something. I'm not saying you have, but and when I say horrible, I mean you might have forgot to feed it by accident. But I wish I hadn't said it. We move on. Let's go. Crossed by Rosenberg. Will they get a late winner? Another chance. Yes, they will. They will get a late winner. They probably do deserve it, and they have scored late on. The last kick of the game. Pretty much 10 seconds to go. They'll be saying Ten Hag out on Twitter, the toxic lot. But, I mean, look, across the course of the game, they probably deserve to win it, but it's pre-season. It'd be a nice result for them. Cross comes in. Miles onside. Just very, very lucky, actually. I mean, Vitek is not going to save that. Bounces off him, and then, I mean, God, I'd have finished that. Imagine if he had missed that. Dead cent. I mean, he didn't hit it that well, did he? He went straight down the middle. Just power. Boom. Casillas, Buffon, Schmeichel. Keep, sell, bin, says Michael Wright. I'd always put Schmeichel ahead of that, but goalkeeping at that time was very, very different, of course. Anyway, thank you very much. Yeah, look, that's that. Vitek was good. Nice to get our first game done. I'm back with you live in just over an hour, 8 o'clock show. I'll do a quick match reaction of this as well. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Absolute legends. I'll see you at 8 o'clock. And I enjoyed that. There was some good bits in it. Some good younger performances. And thanks everyone for watching. Take care. And I'll see you in a bit.